work in Hollywood is emerging. And in order to change stories for the better and to change the narrative, we have to be in the creative process, inside the creative process, inside of it, not outside looking in.
There are not enough Muslims out there producing the content.
Right.
And that is both from the creative side as well as the business side.
It is true that only 13% of writers in Hollywood are people of color, and that is an issue because if you are not represented in the writer's room, you're most likely not represented on the screen.
When we have a job in the media, whether on the part of the people who are making it or the adults, you need to think, like, treat it professionally. If you're the person making it, do it well.
And I think that we as a community are really good at complaining, but then we stop there. It's fine to complain and then do action, but I feel like once you complain and then people stop, nothing happens. Every single one of us needs to get involved somehow.
Try not to have a knee-jerk reaction to something that may appear to be offensive. It's good to have voices, but it would just, I would say just try to, it's better to have the things on the air than it is to shut it down because it's offensive. Because we're not there yet. Yeah. We're not mainstream enough yet that we can. Yeah, right. We haven't affected that, so we need to. Let's get the words out there. Let's just kind of go in and then, get people on the screen before we start screaming racism and this and that.
In order again to change a story and to change the narrative, it's better to be inside the room than outside the room.
Thinking about having kids, I decided, you know what, I've always wanted to give this acting thing a shot. I'm just going to try it and see what happens. It's probably the worst time in my life, but if I don't do it now, I'll probably never do it, and then I'll wonder what if. So I just did. So I would say, give it a shot and test the waters in a way that doesn't cause you to maybe necessarily abandon your parents' hopes and dreams or whatever it is. But don't just not give it a shot at all. Because I think if you don't, years later you're going to wonder what if.
People should tell you honest things because the people who really, really, really want to do it, despite that opposition, will do it. And those are the people who do make it, I think.
There are so many other people within our community that speak different languages that could do voiceover without getting into any even gray areas of haram. It's so much easier because you're literally in a booth by yourself with a microphone. So this was a commercial that I did for Western Union. For birthdays, Mother's Day, Father's Day and more, give the gift of cash that's perfect for every occasion. Cash. Now send money to India directly from your bank account. Visit westernunion.com/3day.
Is very difficult, but we shouldn't make mistakes about that. This is a competitive industry. You want people who go into it, love it, and they are talented and they're good at it. And if you are one of those people, go for it.
This industry for 20 years now, and I feel like I'm still learning and still, it's not how it used to be. Age and all that, it's not how it used to be. We're breaking down barriers. So just, you can lead the way and but build a support team. I mean, that's the big thing, and I think the takeaway is that we have to work together. You can't do it alone.
Tonight, the conversation was amazing. It was excellent. We enjoyed it tremendously. To be able to communicate positively with the American people, we have to be in control in the narrative. We have to create our own movies. We have to create our own narrative.
So coming to this program, I had certain expectation, and I feel like after it's all done and over with, I feel like it absolutely exceeded all those expectations, and I feel like it totally added a new window to what I was thinking about Hollywood and Muslims in Hollywood. And I always had this question. I was always looking at Muslims and in Hollywood and also Hollywood and acting and voice acting as this alien thing. And after this meeting and program, I don't feel the same way anymore. And I feel like that if I want to start becoming a voice actor or an actor or a director, then there is an actual path that I could take, and there are people that actually could help me from the Muslim community.
It's good to know that there are people trying to fix the terrible image that we have. This event was honestly very informative. It brought to light the issues that we have. I think we like to sit down and just argue and complain, but nobody's actually going there and doing something, so it is inspiring. Definitely, it has inspired me. I love writing, so I think if anything, I'd want to get into screenwriting, because at least my name would be out there. At least I could talk, I could be part of, I could change something, and I think that's like the main focal point right now. Like, we can change something, and instead of just sitting there in an endless discussion about all the things that are bad, why don't we fix it?
I want to thank all of you for attending and offering such a lively discussion. Thank you so much.